The smallest life hack that changed everything. Putting things back where they belong the minute I'm done using them. Going to sleep when tired. Picking my battles so I can let certain things go and save my energy for what does matter. Noise-cancelling headphones. I didn't know how loud the world was until I wore them. Suddenly my brain could finally breathe. Best life upgrade I never knew I needed. When I got 2 monitors at work 25 or so years ago. Writing things down instead of trying to remember everything. Discipline to do things on time. For example, life is much better if you spend 5 seconds cleaning up after yourself every time vs having to spend 3 hours doing it once a week. Online bill pay. If you're old enough to remember waiting for the mail, balancing your checkbook with a pencil, and then paying bills by writing out paper checks and putting them in envelopes, buying stamps, going to the post office to mail the bill payments, or what a chore. Late payments were common in those days, and account balances were rarely up to date because we always had paper checks mailed out that had not yet been processed. Being direct, straight to the point, and very assertive. Being nice to people as a default, saying thank you and making eye contact and smiling when dealing with retail store workers or with co-workers or, well, anybody. Turns out, people are so much more willing to help you when you treat them like an actual human being. Bluetooth earbuds are, for me, the most impactful invention of my life. It makes doing menial chores and daily annoyances very tolerable. I just pop one in, put a podcast on, and let my mind wander while I get stuff done. It's great for setting timers while cooking, too. Saying no and not needing to explain to people. Stopping explaining myself to people who had already decided who I was. The energy spent justifying, defending, and proving myself to the wrong audience was quietly exhausting everything, and the day I genuinely stopped, that energy went somewhere that actually mattered. Investing in a high-quality, ergonomic office chair. Decluttering my digital life. Unsubscribed to every single email I did not need. I now only get like one a day. Also made the decision just about totally give up social media, with the exception of Reddit. Only because it's more media than social. I have no urge to broadcast my life anymore. Actually waking up to the alarm clock. Learning to distance myself from people who are even a little toxic. Getting a cleaning lady. There was a time I couldn't afford it, and I don't think it's a necessity, but now it's something I prioritize in my budget. I didn't realize how much stress cleaning was adding to my life until it was off my plate. She comes every other week while I'm out, and I genuinely look forward to coming home after she cleans. Weekends feel lighter knowing I don't have to mop, or dust, or catch up on cleaning I didn't get to during the week. Even when I used to give myself a weekend off from cleaning, there was always that voice in the back of my head reminding me that it's just piling up. Not having that lingering stress anymore has been huge for my mental health in ways I never expected. Not to mention, I no longer have the stress of deep cleaning before I have people visiting or from out of town. I'd be up until 2 a.m. the night before cleaning, and then exhausted the next day, still having to wake up early. If you can budget for it, 1010 recommend. Getting into recovery, alcoholism, and minding my own business made my life infinitely easier. I had to learn how to do both. Now I just think to myself, not my circus, not my monkeys. My own circus and monkeys keep me occupied enough. Forgiving myself for having ADHD and autism and shedding a lifetime of you have so much potential but you're so lazy, and being mocked by school peers for being different. Fuck all that noise. Deleting Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat. The mental load it held over without me realizing was huge. Constantly being bombarded by people trying to convince you how awesome their lives are made me feel like mine was inadequate. Now that all that noise is gone, I am enjoying life and realize my life is awesome, and everything I was seeing on there was just curated posts to make it seem like their lives were perfect. Highly recommend. Stopping caring for what people think. Blocking people that I didn't need or want in my life. The amount of space people took up in my brain who didn't deserve to be there. Putting up boundaries around my personal life was the best thing I ever did. Using a walking stick. I had osteoarthritis in my hip and deferred using a walking stick for far too long. I found it so much easier to walk and feel supported when walking with my stick. Even if I did feel like an old lady with it. I have since had surgery and no longer require it for that hip, but typically, now my other hip has deteriorated. I won't leave it as long this time before I start using a stick. Finally, being in a loving relationship. It really does change everything for the better. Not saying it's 100% perfect all the time. Neither of us is perfect. But the positives vastly outweigh the negatives. Recommended. Born into a family that, while poor, had parents that desperately loved their children, taught good values, and not just a healthy work ethic, but a passion for excellence and ambition for something better in life. Not procrastinating. Quitting drinking. Hardest thing I've ever done that in the long run made my life 1,000,000 times better. Keeping my phone on silent most of the day. An amazing mattress and going to bed earlier. Taking a yoga class once a week. I didn't notice week to week, but over time, yoga has helped heal my body, mind, and spirit. My husband. When I was younger, I didn't really realize all he did for me, but as I matured, I realized that he really looks out for me.